This podcast was brought to you by Uncle Jeep Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drippin' Jeep Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeep, and with me is host Drip Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Tonight, Drip, I officially make the podcast night Wednesday. That's what we're doing tonight.
I heard that. I like that.
But also tonight we're talking about Nintendo. Shocker. Big shocker there. But there is some Nintendo news, obviously. The, what is it called? Famitsu report or something? Or I don't know what it's called. They released some numbers there as far as console sales and game sales for the Switch. And we're hitting some big milestones. And I think it's important to talk about that. So we'll get to that later tonight. Also, Xbox. There's been some stuff going on with Xbox, and it may affect Nintendo. It probably will affect Nintendo, but it will get it's big stuff about around Xbox tonight. Rumors, but also slightly confirmed as well. And we'll get
completely confirmed, but
basically. Yeah. But we'll get to that later on, of course. But tonight, first, Drip, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful. I've had a very busy week. I haven't had time to make a YouTube video yet. I'm a little concerned about it at this point, if it's going to happen or not. But other than that, it's been a great week. How about you? I love your hoodie, man. Just want to say, love that hoodie.
Hey, by the way,
thank
you for that. My hoodie is the Lon Lon Ranch hoodie I got for Christmas. But Drip, I actually learned, I looked on the inside of this hoodie for some reason. Actually, when I was turning inside out to wash it, I noticed it actually is officially licensed by Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
From Etsy. It's from Etsy, but it's still officially licensed from Nintendo.
Now how does that work?
It has a sewn-on badge. Unless it's a counterfeit, I don't think it is. It looks very legit. It looks like when you buy anything from Nintendo.
You got the dupe, man. You got the dupe.
This is a great hoodie. I love this thing. It's not warm out. Obviously, it's like 40 degrees, but it's a little warm inside for a hoodie. So I'm worried that I'm going to take this off later and get to see my disgusting white undershirt. But let's hope not for that. But yeah, Drip,
if you're on audio,
yeah,
now you're going to be really upset that you missed it.
Yeah. So we're going to get to the Nintendo news and the Xbox news, but I actually want to start first with a little observation that I have made revolving around, because obviously we've been talking about Pal World, right? Talking about Pal World last couple of weeks, and then we talked about Pokemon and how that kind of fits in there. And I noticed something, Drip.
What did you notice, Jeeb?
I noticed that, and actually I have some a photo here to show you guys on the screen, but I'll go ahead and use my words for those of you listening to this show. I noticed something. I noticed that Nintendo, on Nintendo of America's Twitter account, has been posting a lot, and I mean a lot, on their Twitter. And they usually do, but they've been posting a lot of a very specific game. This game has no brand new releases. This game has nothing in the news cycle. So I thought it was weird because normally they tweet stuff about stuff that's in the news cycle or games they're trying to promote right now for whatever reason. And there's always a rhyme or reason, right, for why they're tweeting. You can speak, like right now they're posting a lot about the what is that side-scrolling Game Boy Advance Mario game that's out right now, remastered. Mario and Donkey Kong.
Versus Donkey Kong.
There's a few posts for Mario versus Donkey Kong, right? And that makes a lot of sense. I'm also looking here.
It does. The game's about to come out. There's a demo for it too. Have you played the demo?
I have not played the demo, but yeah, it definitely makes sense of why that is being talked about. But a game that doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, unless you're looking into it, is Pokemon. Okay, and again, audio listeners, listen up. So going back to what is this month? February. Going back to January 26th. Thank you, honey. Oh my goodness, she brought me all the things.
Nice.
Going back to January 26th, they started tweeting a Pokemon photo, which is okay. It's okay to tweet every now and again.
Yeah, they come back around to it. That's fine.
This is actually January 25th, actually. I'm mistaken. January 25th was their first Pokemon. And that's 6 days after the release of Pal World. Okay? Nothing weird about that. Obviously, that was when Pal World really started gaining traction on the internet, getting a lot of attention. So nothing crazy about that, but look at the same day. Is this the same day? Yep, January 25th. Another tweet about Pokemon. Okay. Whatever. And then, if you count from then, all the way up to recent day, there's about 46 posts, and this is just the media, like photos and video. I wasn't going to go over all of the freaking tweets and retweets I've done, but just the media posts where somebody had a photo or a video. About 46 posts between January 25th and today, which is February 7th. Did I say 46? I don't know what I said, but 46.
Yes. Yeah.
26 of those posts are Pokemon.
Gee, that's over half.
More than half of basically every other post and then
that's very
some
odd. I wonder
has
what would
been
make them do
Pokemon
that.
related. And I have a theory. I don't know if it's anything crazy here. You might be thinking on the same page as me, Drip, but I have a feeling that is because Power World has taken over the internet, and somebody feels a little bit scared, don't you think?
Yeah, they're feeling some type of way. That's for sure. Like, hey, stop looking over there. That's not what you look over here at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
we got Pikachu. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. So that's kind of
interesting. That is very, very interesting.
Again, just an observation I made.
If you go back before that,
yeah.
When's the last time they posted about it?
Okay, I'm going to look here. I'm not going to show it the stream, but again,
yeah,
so
it doesn't even matter.
So before
really,
that January 5th post, before that, let's see how many days it took between Pokemon posts. Let's see. Here's a Pokemon. That's a video, and that's Pikmin. Sorry. Pokemon. I'm going to keep scrolling here. That's Pokemon. That's Pokemon. Sorry about the audio. That was on the 21st. 4 days before that last post. And so that's not great. Okay. So you say only 4 days, right?
Well, 4 days. But you said the other one you just talked about was 6 days after the game was released, right?
Right. So that was the 21st. That was a couple days after the game's released. Okay. But so think about this: 21st to 25th, no posts, and then from the 25th to February 7th, 26 posts. So that's interesting. If I went back and looked at all the Pokemon posts, my guess is it would be like averaging out to every
You mean Nintendo?
Every sixth or seventh post might be a Pokemon, right? They were on a streak where more than every other one for a 3-week period, and it's no coincidence that those 3-week period was the time period when Power released. So again, I won't spend any more time on that, but I just wanted to bring that up. I'm neither
a little petty.
Yeah, I'm neither I'm neither a Pokemon hater nor a Power World lover or vice versa. Okay, I don't really sit in the middle. I just don't give a damn that much, but I call out what I see. Yeah, and what I see right now is a lot of Power World content, and Nintendo getting real jealous. That's all.
They're upset. There's no question.
For sure. So okay, let's get on with a little bit of the news tonight, Drip. Some actual news here. Nintendo has released something. Do you know what this stuff's called? When they do these releases?
This would be the Q4 hardware/software sales updates. Well, this is what they released to shareholders to let them know what shit they have sold.
Thank you for saying that so eloquently, but yes, that's about right.
You are very welcome.
And we're gonna look here at Nintendo as of December 31st, 2023. Nintendo has 139 million units sold for the Nintendo Switch, and over a bill. Is that 1 billion units of games? That can't be right.
No, that is correct.
That's over 1 billion games. Oh my god, that's insane.
1 billion.
I never looked at that number. I saw that number, but I have not. It did not compute until I saw that 1,200.1 million equals 1,200 million.
When you got to think about it, man, they've got
holy crap.
They've got multiple. I mean, 20, 30 million sellers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they add up. They got a lot of games.
Yeah, and they also put the 3DS specifically right next to it.
I mean, that hasn't changed much since the last time they put this out.
No, but it's just a good comparison because the 3DS's life is over and the Switch is still going. And we're almost twice as many units were sold to 3DS, but way more copies of games. Well over. That is almost 3 times as many games, roughly. Mental math there, and the sad ass Wii U down here. Let's not even talk about the Wii U. 13 million units sold.
But before you go any further, the cool thing about this, and as you said, I think yesterday, maybe we're gonna have a conversation with when and if it happens. The Switch is about to pass the PlayStation 2 as the best-selling console of all time. It's what, 13, 15 million away?
Say that one more time for the YouTube short algorithm.
It's 13 to 15 million units away from outselling the PlayStation 2.
Wow, Nintendo
The
Switch.
best-selling console of all time, Jeeb.
That is
the
crazy.
Switch is on fire. It's on fire.
That's insane.
Still on fire.
Yeah. And
it is crazy, honestly. It's wild.
Yeah. We can also look as well at the Nintendo DS, which that is only Nintendo Switch is only a few million behind that. Obviously, 154 million. It's going to pass the DS. I think when it's all said and done, I don't know if it can get quite that high, but I mean, if it can get as high as the DS, I think it could probably get as high as the PS2 as well. But we'll see. Only time will tell with that. That's some really impressive numbers.
It's crazy. It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Yeah. I just want to bring that up as well. Also, Drip, we can look at some of these game sales as well. I'm clicking a lot around here. If you would fill some dead air for me, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Well, I'm trying to see what you're doing too. It's hard for me to know because I can't see.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's nuts. I mean, the fact that, and I think we have this conversation every time we end up talking about these numbers, but it is crazy because when this whole thing started and we started with the Switch and it was like, okay, maybe it looks better. And we're coming off the Wii U. Who knew this is where we were going to be in 7 years?
I mean, not a lot of people. I mean, I wasn't there for that. Obviously, you guys know that, but a lot of people, if not all of them, didn't really think we'd be here at this moment with Nintendo.
I didn't care what it was, honestly. I didn't care what it was. They could have had hybrid, non-hybrid. It could have been, something, whatever. It didn't matter. All I cared about is we're finally getting a new Zelda game. That's the only thing I was worried about. Didn't care. Nice
little segue. We're going to talk about Zelda games in a second, but let's go ahead and talk about the Switch games overall. So we saw the console sales. Well, let's take a look at the game sales on Nintendo Switch. And no surprise, remaining in first, and that will stay there, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 60.58 million copies sold. That's crazy. There has been Mario Kart 8 bundles with the Switch, so that has an advantage over the Animal Crossing, which has not had any bundles with consoles. Maybe with the exception of, there's a digital code, maybe with the Switch Lite, I think, at one point. Maybe.
I mean, it doesn't matter, though. I mean, honestly, at this point, you're buying Mario, whether it comes with your Switch or not, you're buying Mario Kart. At this point, not everyone's like, there was a time when it was like, of course you're buying Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? But that only lasted for a period of time. Mario Kart has been, you're buying Mario Kart since it was re-released on the Switch up until today. You get a Switch. I mean, who doesn't play Mario Kart?
Yeah. So as we go down here a little bit, we see Super Smash is there, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 31.61 million, Odyssey right behind that, the first two, basically the first two big releases for the console, sitting right there at not 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 and 5 lifetime sales for the game. For the console.
Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey.
Yes. Then Pokemon Sword and Shield beneath that, as well as Scarlet and Violet. Right beneath that, Scarlet and Violet cracks the top 10. No surprise there. Mario, this is a crying shame right here. Super Mario Party, not Mario Party All-Stars, whatever it's called. Mario Party whatever the
Mario
second
Party All-Stars?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
No, it's not
that's
Super.
Not All-Stars.
There's no Super.
It's also not All-Star. I don't know what it is. The better, everyone knows. If you play Mario Party, you know the better one on Switch.
What is it called? Superstars.
Thank you, Drip.
Guy.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Super Mario All-Star. Oh, God damn it. I'm going to stop talking now. That Mario Party game, the bad one, has been out longer, and it has that longevity effect where it's going to sell more copies. Because people just think if they don't know about the two games and the differences, they're going to just buy the one that's there. So I get that. But if you know, you know. Don't buy that one. Buy the better one.
Yeah, that's not the one. That's not the one to get. Unless you really love waving Joy-Cons around.
Yeah, I mean,
then that's definitely
the
one
like
for you.
waving Joy-Cons around, but as an option. The reason why it's a bad game, in my opinion, is that they give you no option, and I hate that. So Moving on, of course, Tears of the Kingdom here. Now? Let's think of what number is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Counting
It's
the Pokemon
9.
games as 1, 8, 9. Cracking the top 10. Tears of the Kingdom, 20.28 million. Now Drip
In what? 6 months?
in 6 months. Yeah. And then
I mean, honestly,
rounding out the top 10, new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 17 million, and Mario Wonder we'll get to in a minute. Actually, we'll get to it right now. I think Mario Wonder is actually at 11 million. Yep, here it is. 11.96 million.
that's not bad.
That's
I
great.
mean, let's stop for a second there.
Sure.
A 2D Mario, 11 million. That's
12. No, it's 12. It's 11.96.
okay. It's 12 million. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That came out like a month ago. Oh, it's been longer than that now. But when did it come out? November?
Yeah.
That's amazing. They should be very, very, very happy with that. I mean, that's really, really good.
Oh, and it's going to
side-scrolling Mario.
And it's going to be on the shelves for as long as there's Switch games on the shelf, and it's going to.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to pass. I think it's going to.
This will be the game
It'll
that
crack the
gets
top 10.
re-released on the Switch 2 with extra content, or some kind of different multiplayer, something like they did with Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah,
this will be that guaranteed.
Yeah. And before we talk about Tears of the Kingdom, I do want to wrap up here. We got RPG, Super Mario RPG, the remake, 3 million. Impressive, 2 months.
That ain't bad. Yeah,
That's
that
great.
ain't bad.
It's a remake, dude.
For
That sold
yeah.
more than. Look at the
Hold
Wii
on,
U.
I do
Look at the
gotta
Wii
call
U
you
game
out,
sales.
though. I gotta call you out because you said hot take.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Mario RPG is gonna outsell.
I think I need to make a tweet and tweet Zach in it.
Yeah,
Because that was when Zach was on the show.
Yeah, you said it was gonna outsell Mario Wonder.
It was my hot take. I did say that, and I was wrong.
That's a smoking hot take.
Oh, I was wrong. I'm okay. Listen, I admit when I'm wrong. I admit when I'm right a lot, which I'll get to.
Well,
I'll get to in just a couple seconds here, Drip, because you were very curious what I was going to say about why I'm.
I already know what
right.
it is, and if you're calling me out on
Wait,
this,
don't steal my thunder. I'll get to
Go
it.
ahead.
But
I got lots to say because I know what you're going to do.
I do want to talk about the last few games here. So, Luigi's Mansion 3 cracks the top 15.
Love that game.
13 million, actually 14 million. 3D World, Bowser's Fury, 13 million. Splatoon 3, 11.7 million. And then Pikmin 4,
that's
another
crazy.
3 million for Pikmin there.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's only been 6 months. So, I mean, it's probably going to get to 5 million at least.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So, but very interesting there. There's this might be, guys, this might be the last time we really talk about Nintendo Switch game sales, because in a few months, we're probably.
No, we will. One more time.
I don't know. When is
After March. Yes, we will. After March. That'll be the last time.
Yeah, maybe.
Because even if they announce it, we're still going to hear the sales reports. So we will have one more, at least.
I didn't mean that we won't be looking at it and it's not going to happen. What I mean is they're not going to mean as much as it does now.
No.
Because there
I don't
already
think it's
be
going to
another
change.
console out there.
I honestly don't think it's going to change that much from now to then.
No, it probably won't.
It's going to be, yeah, people who have a Switch at this point already have one. There's way too much out there for people. Oh, Switch 2's coming. Switch 2. Like, their sales have got to be slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
They've got to be.
They do. But speaking of game sales that have been slowing down, Tears of the Kingdom, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Nosedive. Absolute nosedive.
We all, everybody knows who watches the show. We did our happy dances when we saw 13 million copies in 3 days. We all were like, "Told you so, told you so, told you so," and everybody else was doubting the Tears of the Kingdom. And we're fanboys for Tears of the Kingdom. It's no secret. It's fair though. I mean, look at my shelf behind me. It's like 95% Zelda merch, and I love it all so much. I mean, I paid $100 for an amiibo and a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're big fans here. But, again, we call things out as we see it. And it is interesting to note, Drip, that, 7 million copies of the game since it really is what's sold in the past 6 months. If you look at it like that, release day, 3 days was 13 million, and crazy impressive. Then next 6 months, 7 million copies. That is disappointing, to say the least, don't you think?
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Not what I expected. I mean,
We got to go back.
Ahead. Go ahead.
We have to go back and see what we had said. I didn't do that
today.
Oh, you did. So what did we say?
Okay. I only got the one episode, but it was the first one where we got to talk about it before we had who do we have on? I can't remember. Anyway, it was the first time we talked about Tears of the Kingdom. I listened to that back.
All things Zelda.
Yes. But I figured that's what you were gonna talk to me about, is something along the lines of that.
No.
Okay, go ahead. What is it? What is the thing?
I've been saying this for weeks/months. I had stated that last year's the last direct in 2023, that if we didn't see the double pack Zelda games, that we were not going to see them. And I also was saying that's their last. And I said that because that was the last chance for Nintendo to get those games out there, because the interest will be down after that point. It doesn't mean it won't sell. And
you did say that,
but the interest will be down, is what I said. And I also said that they'd be foolish not to do it then. At the worst case, like that was the perfect time. The last direct of the year,
it would have been a good
holiday
time.
Release would be the perfect time, because because the Tears of the Kingdom hype was at the all-time high. And to add these games, hold on, Drip, to add those games,
it was also Game of the Year. It was going up for Game of the Year, so it had the hype. You're right.
The accumulative hype since the games was released at that point, 3 months old, was the high. Like, that was the hype. The all-time high probably was in the first 3 days. Okay, but the game's interest was incredibly high, and it would rekindle the hype if we were able, if they would put those games out there, Zelda, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker. And I think I've been proven right here, because we're looking at these sales numbers as of basically January 1st, 2024. Not good. And I have to wonder if they put those Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD out there, how different the numbers would have looked now. Just because, you keeping the Zelda name out there as another Zelda game to play. Oh, I like these games. I should try the newest game. You know what I mean? Like, I just wonder how much better it would have done. It may have done nothing, but I wonder.
I think I see what you're saying, and I understand that, and I kind of agree with you. But at the same time, there's also thinking about it this way. Like, okay, I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom. Not everybody is us.
Right.
Some people might just be Zelda'd out for a little bit. They need a little bit of a break. And then if you give them that little bit of a break, they come back whenever they're like, oh, yeah, look, here's two more Zelda games. They're like, oh, yeah, it's been however many months since I played a Zelda game. I'll definitely play another one in 2 months when it comes out.
Yeah.
There's always that side of it, too. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to call me out on saying that it was going to break the Breath of the Wild number.
No, because I don't remember what I said back then. Do you remember what I said?
I went back and watched it
25
today.
million. 25 is what I said, right?
I don't remember the exact number, but I think what we had talked about was, I was willing to say there were some things that I thought were going to happen that clearly aren't happening now. I was willing to say that eventually, yes, it was going to cross that if they re-release a version of it, including the DLC, whatever they wanted to do with it, even if it was like digital with the DLC on the Switch too. That was right in the hype, man. That was like right in the hype. You and I were lost in the sauce, man. I went back and watched that one. We were so fucking excited.
Dude, on Cloud 25. Forget Cloud 9.
It was crazy. I was ready to say it right there. I think you wanted a little more time to watch it, but you were ready. You were so close to say, like, oh yeah, it's going to pass it. At this point, I was very, very wrong about that. There's no way it's passing now. One, we're not getting DLC for it. That was going to be the thing that really, because honestly, if it had DLC, it could do it. It could do it. With DLC, you'd be a little closer. But at this point, I don't think it's possible at all. You should go watch that episode back, though. We were so excited. So excited.
Oh, I know.
What's crazy is we were talking about...
It'd be fun to watch.
I was talking about... this thing had like the Pokemon, or not the Pokemon, the Animal Crossing effect. Like when
it did,
when the pandemic
in the first
hit,
month, it absolutely did.
But it was so hard too. Like it went for so Like it was just like that. But the Animal Crossing one had longevity. Eventually, people it just stopped because it was cool to go back and listen to that because it was like I was talking about my algorithms on every social media platform were just Tears of the Kingdom. Yep. Everything I saw, people building funny shit. I was talking about how I made a video on a boat doing some dumb shit. Like everybody was doing it. It was hilarious. But then all that just disappeared. And it was good. But again, we've talked about this again. That game was great, right? It's probably the best Zelda game that's ever been made. It's still amazing, but it didn't have what Breath of the Wild had, because Breath of the Wild, as we've talked about this, maybe not last week, but whatever. It was new. It was a new kind of Zelda. It was something we'd never seen. You know, the mechanics, the physics, the world, the way that you interacted with everything. It was just, everything was so brand new. And Tears of the Kingdom had that a little bit, but not the way Breath of the Wild did. And that's why, I think that's why it fell off so quick, honestly. That has to be the reason.
Breath of the Wild brought a certain magic to the game.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
You got to remember my perspective too. This was not at the Switch's launch day. I wasn't there. I wasn't there for all that hype. I picked up the game as somebody who had watched my brother-in-law play since release day. We lived in the same house for 3.5 years. I watched him play it. I joke with him because our house was very echoey at the time. That the game would echo right into my room upstairs, and like I'd hear the ha and from the fairies because he's upgrading all his stuff all the time, and all the other little sound effects from the game. I'd heard all those sounds and stuff before the game ever came out. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I purchased the game on my own in 2020. During the pandemic, with nothing else to do, I need something to play, and I actually bought it as a secondary game. I actually bought Link's Awakening Remake, thinking that would be my favorite Zelda game to play at the time. Never playing any Zelda games. And I played that game for 5 hours, and I was like, this ain't doing it for me.
You tried it on stream, too.
Yeah. I mean, this is well before I streamed it, by the way. Just FYI.
I know, yeah. And I love that game. I just
never did it for me.
Twice.
I'm not 2D Zelda
on stream.
2D Zelda, not my thing. 3D Zelda, though, I come to learn that is my jam. And Breath of the Wild, when I popped it in, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this game. I was thinking about when I put Link's Awakening in, I thought I was gonna return both games. I'm like, I'm not even gonna play Breath of the Wild. I'm just gonna return both. Like, this sucks. Put Breath of the Wild in, and my life changed. Like, no exaggeration. I mean, like,
it was that type of game. For
so
sure.
much the passion for Breath of the Wild threw me into a career of now talking on a podcast, a potential career. We're not there yet, but a potential career. You know, I see the light.
Yeah, oh no, I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's and that's the thing. It sold amazing. Obviously, basically 32 million copies at this point. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to start slowing down. I mean, we're basically looking at the number, but I mean, that's crazy, man. Like, think about this. If you go look at other games, third-party games, stuff like this, like 3 million, 4 million is a great number. Mm-hmm. 5 million is a great number. Nintendo has a list of 30 million, 20 million, 10 million, 10 million, 9 million. Like, they've just got a list. It's insane. And I know everybody says, like, ooh, Nintendo drones, Nintendo fanboys. But, man, like, the numbers speak for themselves. People enjoy the games. And
is a hipster.
Homer. That's fine.
No, dude. Here's the thing. He's a hipster, and he's not on the trends because he's cool. And Nintendo is on the trend right now. It's clearly killing Xbox. It's not killing PlayStation, but as far as fandom, you know, both parties love each other, love their consoles just as much. Like, listen, he's just jealous. Is all he is. He's not on the train, and he doesn't think that now. But when he grows a pair and he matures, he'll learn that it's just good. Nintendo makes good shit, and you don't like it because you're a hipster, or you think you're too mature for Nintendo games, or whatever the case is. I thought all the same things, man, when I was an Xbox 360 fan. 9 times out of 10 is
people who just haven't played the games and look from the outside in, look, it's kid shit.
Yeah, and I was there. You've never really been there, or not, especially not like I have.
I grew up with Nintendo. Yeah,
right.
dude,
I was in that guy's shoes at one point when I was a 360 fan. I'm like, I'm not playing the Wii. That thing's for babies. Like it was.
Do I look like a baby?
It's a baby to you. I'm a 16-year-old boy playing Xbox. I ain't no baby.
Hey, no
playing Call of Duty, Halo, Call of Duty. Yeah, like come on, man. I was a kid, just like that person clearly is still in their brain, thinking that Nintendo drones are a thing. We're just like what we like. The same people who are like iPhones suck, Android all day, or Android users saying, "Oh, you iPhone users are just old people
come on, man.
or whatever. Kids are old." It's all nonsense. The console wars is nonsense. iPhone versus Android's not. It's all freaking nonsense. Grow up, everybody.
Jeeb. Speaking of console wars.
Oh no, that's a beautiful segue. That's the best segue I could have come up with. But I do want to recognize Metal Mojon in the chat. We got to do that real fast. It was a while.
Shout out.
It was a while ago, but thank you so much, Metal Mojon, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, my dude.
Appreciate that a bunch.
And they said, "Good to see you guys again." Shh, it's a podcast. That's why I didn't feel too pressure to say it immediately, because he understands. He understands the moment. But thank you very much, Metal Mojon, for the super chat. We appreciate it.
As I was saying, gee, speaking of console wars,
you see my light back there?
They're over. They are over. And Xbox is waving the white flag.
Well, not yet. We don't know yet.
They're waving the white flag. They're done. No more Xboxes. They're going to be gone. They're actually taking them from people's homes. They're going to be coming to your house next week to pick up all Series S and X systems. Even the new black one, the new black Series S with the terabyte, coming back. They're gone. Did you hear about that?
No, wait.
That was one of the rumors, wasn't it?
What? Wait,
I'm kidding.
I missed.
They're not actually doing it.
I was going to say, did I miss something here? You sound very convincing.
I can't believe you believe that.
Dude, with the news that we're getting here, the rumors and news,
I know, there's some
it's
wild
believable.
Stuff. That's kind of why I was going there. I didn't think I was going to get you.
Go ahead, drive this Xbox.
I'm not driving.
Drive this Gamebox X. You started it. It's you guys. You got to continue it.
The Gamebox X is done.
No, yeah,
it's over. All right, the rumors. Okay. So the rumors are, we already heard about, what is it? Hi-Fi Rush is supposed to be coming to Switch, which that looks like, okay, whatever, not a big deal. We've seen Xbox games come to the Switch. We've got Ori, both the Ori games, Minecraft. You know, we've got, that's happened before. It's not a new thing. What else? We've got a few other ones. I can't think of them right now. Put them on the chat if you guys think of them. But now we're getting other stuff. Now we're getting more stuff. It looks like we're getting Starfield, not going to the Switch. They're not saying anything about the Switch, but the Starfield, which is a Bethesda game, brand new, just came out, Xbox exclusive, is going to be going to PlayStation.
Ooh.
Now, this is a rumor. We don't know yet. And then also the new Indiana Jones game that Bethesda's doing is also supposed to be going to PlayStation. Now, there are a few that are supposed to go to the Switch. Do you know what those are? Because I don't offhand. I have not looked at the rest of this.
I don't actually have that information in front of me, unfortunately.
That's amazing, because I feel like that's what we should know.
Yeah, I know we should, but I don't. It's the overarching conversation that interests me, not the individual leaks and rumors. Because to me, it's not about the individual games that is rumored to come out and release. It's more of the overarching fact that Xbox might be on the verge of canceling their console business, downright removing consoles from the equation.
I know.
Nothing's confirmed, and some of the rumors contradict that, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah,
but I mean, it sounds. Even Philly Spencer, Philly boy, even tweets out. I actually don't even have the tweet on hand with me.
Well, he basically just addressed all the rumors and said, "We hear you."
Yeah,
and we were planning on, addressing. Well, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said they were going to say something anyway.
They're going to address it next week.
They had already planned to say something, which I'm sorry, right there, like that. What else do you need to know? He's like, "We hear you. We're going to address it. We're going to let you know what's going on." Something's happening, clearly.
Can I just say real fast that I appreciate that so much, because being a Nintendo drone like I am, what we get with Nintendo,
doesn't tell us
that
shit.
Japanese culture, which, not that I don't like it or anything. I don't want to disrespect it, but I certainly don't like it all that much compared to
it's a pain in the
what
ass.
Xbox is doing here, just being straightforward with people. And who knows, maybe next week they'll come out with a little mini event or something, and it's going to be a bunch of bullshit. We don't know yet. But at least there's there's rumors out, and they tweeted we're going to address some of these rumors. I appreciate that. That's all. I appreciate that big time.
I don't know. I don't. One way or another, that doesn't even matter to me. I mean, that's cool. They're going to say something. Obviously, they need to. I mean,
like don't pretend like we're. All I'm saying is don't act like I'm an idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. That's
I'm
fair.
not an idiot. So I clearly I know the Switch 2 is coming out soon. But Nintendo is going to play this game like I'm an idiot and to completely deny to the second it comes out. And like that's disrespecting me. The Xbox is going. There's some rumors out there.
Gee, fuck you and your feelings. Okay, that's what Nintendo says.
Basically, and that's all. That's all. I'm not nothing more than that. I appreciate Xbox not calling me an idiot.
Okay, but we know at this point something's going on. There's something big they have to say, because if it was a non-issue, he wouldn't have come out and said, "We're gonna address it. Just chill. We're gonna address it." He would have said, "No, this is not happening. Everybody's going crazy. This is not something that needs to be worried about, blah, 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 blah." This is something. It's happening. Now, I mean, I would imagine at this point, the rumors aren't really going that crazy for the Switch. I know, like I said, there are a few that are supposed to be coming to the Switch. I mean, we know already. I mean, this one's not, excuse me.
Southern Professional.
We know this one's not crazy because they have to, because we know that happened with all that court stuff with the Activision Blizzard acquisition. They have to put Call of Duty on the Switch. So we know we're getting that. Mm-hmm. And that's basically at this point an Xbox game. It's just something's going on. I just find it very interesting from the fact, if you look at it from like what happened with Sega. Like Sega just kind of was like, we're done selling. We're done making consoles. We have failed.
That's waving the white flag, and they haven't gotten there yet.
Now,
but Sega did it years ago.
I don't know if Xbox. I don't know if they're going to do that. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. It's kind of crazy to do that. But let me go. Let me just kind of finish this thought. Sure. Here's why it's crazy to do that. But at the same time, it's like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I think about these things a little less than I should before I say them. What would be the point if you can get all of Xbox's games on, let's not even say the Switch, let's just say PlayStation 5.
Yeah. If
you can get every game that Xbox makes on the PlayStation 5, plus all third-party stuff, plus all PlayStation's exclusives, what's the purpose of an Xbox? Why would you ever buy one? Well, you're just limiting yourself to not having the PlayStation games.
As it stands, as far as like if you already own this stuff, like if you already got a PlayStation, obviously not, absolutely diddly nothing. You've no like Microsoft has no leg to stand on there. If they're putting their games on PlayStation and somebody on the market right now already has a PlayStation is mulling somebody who already has a PlayStation, I just thought of something. They're not gonna buy an Xbox, but somebody is looking to purchase the Xbox in this current market. We're not talking about next gen yet. We're still talking about this market,
right?
I would say Xbox still has a say in this because they have the cheapest console as far as home consoles. They have the Series S, and like an average gamer is not going to go, I need the PS4 digital because that has all the specifications of the regular PS5, but it also, we're talking about the Series S, where it's like that's more affordable for the average gamer to get introduced into the market. They're going to be like, this is cheap enough for me. This is good for me. I don't need to spend the extra money on the PS5. Yeah. Let's go with.
I thought of another reason too, but I don't think this is as soon as I thought of it, I was like, well, that's probably not right either. Something Xbox does have is Game Pass.
Yeah.
But they've already talked about putting, like, we've heard rumors that Game Pass was going to be on, the Switch. And technically, they give you the instructions on Xbox's website to put Game Pass on your Steam Deck. I did that. It works great.
Right.
Yo, $20
we gotta shout that out. Thank you, Marcellus. Appreciate you, my dude, for
let's go.
Play the sound drip. Gotta play that's the sound of people give us super chats. We play them gotta give them the cheers. Thank you for that. They're talking about the Nintendo conversation. Obviously, we'll talk more about that in the after show. Stick around, Marcellus. But yeah, Nintendo or Marcellus is really thinking that this year is the year for the Switch Pro, which I would agree with that for sure.
Oh yeah, maybe not Pro, but
I said Switch Pro. Yeah, I'm an old man. The next Switch.
That's not happening
this
anymore.
is the year.
We know that's not happening.
Yeah,
this is definitely the year.
And Nintendo's
sure,
playing games with us, Marcellus, and that's a good point.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in the after show for sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that. But yeah, Game Pass is the thing that they could actually hold and be like, okay, well, you know, you could buy this little box here, and you could do it if you don't have a PC,
right?
You know, or you don't have a Steam Deck, you can get this. You know, they're probably gonna drop the price soon on the S, but I don't think Game Pass can be anywhere.
Yes,
because the streaming on it works so fucking well.
And Microsoft knows that. That's why they put the directions and they put the directions for the Steam Deck on their website because they know Game Pass is everywhere, man. We're not biased. They're trying to sell a service. They're not necessarily trying to sell you an Xbox, and they've been kind of doing that this whole generation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just here's the thing.
Their whole thing is they want people to play, and they've said this, and now they're really like, if this is true, they're really putting their money where their mouth is, because they've said, Phil Spencer said, we want Xbox games to be enjoyed by as many people on as many different platforms and places as they can possibly be enjoyed. So, I mean, he's putting his money where his mouth is. I can't wait to hear what he says about this, though. I'm very curious to see what the written response is, and how are they going to do it? Is this going to be like
I don't know,
like a press release, or is this going to be like
a video? I'm thinking it might be a video. That's what
I'm saying. Like I
sit down with Philly, yes, you know?
Yeah. What does RGT call him? Slick Philly?
Slick Philly. But yeah, so
Hero time.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat.
$9.99.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Xbox here.
Oh, Hero time with the $4.99.
Okay, we have a show to do. I'm sorry, I appreciate you guys super chats, but we got.
They're gonna call it the reswitch.
So the Xbox, so this generation, right? There's Xboxes. This generation of Xbox is not going anywhere. They're still going to sell consoles, not as many as the other two, but they're still going to sell their consoles, and their main focus will remain Xbox Game Pass, but they'll still sell some consoles. Next gen though, Drip, there's some rumors, and we'll get to those rumors in just a second. But next gen, I think, is really when we start to see the effects of all of this, because you had said basically you had said that Microsoft can't sell hardware if this is their business model, and I disagree, because this rumor that there's going to be a handheld Xbox console, I don't think it's going to be. It's possible it's a Series S in your hand. That's possible, but my guess is it's way more closer along the lines of the PS Portal, where it's just a streaming device. Xbox is gonna it's still hardware. Xbox will sell, and they'll still, but and it does Xbox branding and all that good stuff. But it's the dinner plate for Xbox Game Pass. This is the way to play Xbox. They might even sell a dock for the thing, or they are a separate device. Who knows? But Game Pass, like Game Pass on TV, they're gonna get, when you buy TV, there'll be Game Pass branding on your TV.
They've already done that.
Right.
They have a deal with Samsung.
But it's gonna be
in their new TVs.
Right, and I know that, and it's gonna be pushed even harder, right? And they'll get it. It won't be just Samsung. It'll be on other companies too. Like that, there's still hardware Xbox can sell. The controller they're still selling the Xbox controller. They're still going to be doing that.
You're right. I mean, man, if they do this right, this could be. I mean,
if they do it right, is the question.
This could literally be like. This could be. We've been we've talked about this for years at this point, but like our actual digital future, like the way this is going to happen, this could be the real beginning of it. And it's kind of in a way we didn't really see coming. We just, it's just going to be digital games. We just download them. But this is like, if it is something like a PlayStation Portal, you know how I feel about the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I literally had an update. I think it was about a week or 2 weeks into when I got it. After that update, I have not had one issue with that thing. Not one issue. And I use it a lot. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if the kids are here and we're doing Fortnite, whatever, if I'm upstairs, I'm using that. Right. The only time I ever use the actual PlayStation is if I'm sitting down here streaming
Mhm.
or if I'm playing, with people in Discord or whatever. Like that's it. It's the only time I ever use it. I love it. So if this rumor is true and there's an Xbox handheld coming out that's just like that, I mean, I can tell you from experience. I've used xCloud, the streaming part of Game Pass on the Steam Deck, and it is flawless. It runs so good. I mean, there's a little bit of lag, but man, it's impressive how good it runs. It is very, very impressive. So I mean, if they can have their own dedicated handheld that's literally made to run it, I mean, imagine how well they can optimize that thing and make it do what it needs to do to make sure there's like zero lag. It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
And then, I mean, there's another rumor too. I mean, if we're going to get on the handheld stuff, that Sony's going to have an actual handheld, like
Right, I saw that too. I didn't add that to this.
Actual
Yeah.
handheld, not a streaming thing. So I mean, the Switch 2's got some. I mean, why not though? Like, look what the Switch did. Look at all these other things. Look what Nintendo did as an actual.
Yeah, actually,
like a
Drip
brand.
So good point. I was gonna bring this up in the after show, but I'll bring it up now. Someone in the chat just said something. Let me see. I'm trying to find it here real fast. Metal Mojon said, "You ever think that Nintendo's gonna Nintendo at some point though? Like they ain't no Sony or Microsoft. They just kind of do their own thing." And what's funny about that comment is, think about this: Nintendo didn't just not Nintendo themselves. They pulled a reversal. Now everybody else is trying to be Nintendo. Look at Valve.
I mean,
like,
I'm on the train that.
And when I say be
everybody's
Nintendo,
always been trying to be Nintendo.
Well, yeah. When I say be Nintendo, what I mean is Nintendo started a trend, and not that it ever went away for Nintendo. Of course, they always had their handhelds, but everybody else dropped off. But now Nintendo had such a successful one that everybody else is like, oh shit, we made a big mistake here. Like, we need to get back on this. And Valve was first on the call. They didn't really put any good hardware out in years. So actually ever. They've never put out good hardware. The Steam Deck's their first good thing they put out, and they put out some other things before. It's not their first thing. I owned the original Steam machine.
You had that. Yeah, you had that thing.
Not good. But Valve, and then all these, all the handheld emulators started popping up everywhere, and PlayStation Portal. I'm sure I'm missing other things here. Nintendo not only did not Nintendo themselves, but the industry is changing back to where it used to be having handhelds involved, because Nintendo was like
following Nintendo pretty hard.
Yeah, and we've on the show we've talked about in the past how the industry always follows Nintendo in one way or another.
I can
Nintendo
run back
pushes
over
the
that
change
very quickly if you want me to.
Nintendo pushes the change, and then everybody else just perfects it.
Dude, yeah, I mean, the
Switch to Steam Deck. The Steam Deck's a better product.
The D-pad, 4 buttons on the face button. The stick.
The analog stick, yeah.
Analog stick.
64 one sucked, but the PlayStation one was great.
Yeah, I mean, trigger buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
bumpers and triggers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's motion control.
Yep.
I mean, Nintendo did it. PlayStation copied it. Xbox did a very weird thing. That was that they had the Kinect. That was like, fuck were they thinking of that? That was a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea. But then Nintendo was like, we're just gonna put basic functionality in our Joy-Con controllers, and it's gonna be better than any Kinect fucking game.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, Nintendo's always on top of the trend, even though they're still behind it somehow. It's amazing.
Well, it's because they always use already established technology to do an interesting thing with, instead of trying to take the brand new thing and just do what that brand new thing's for, because it's so new and so expensive and so cool. It's like, now we can have original ideas with these things that already exist and bring these things together and give an experience.
Right.
That's why I love Nintendo. That's why I'm a Nintendrone, dude.
Oh no.
Drip, Xbox as a studio / service. How close do you think we are to that possibility?
Like no consoles?
No consoles. Like next gen, you think it really going to erase all their plans? Remember, we had those leaks back not too long ago of like their plans going forward, and how there's already an Xbox 2 or whatever it's called, the Xbox Series 14, like whatever they call it. Like it's already in development as far as on paper. So they got something planned, but do they just kind of take it a big old fat eraser and go Game Pass? Game Pass is what we do.
You know what else? Well, there was that other thing too. And I meant to find it so we can get some clips from some sound bites or something. But like Phil Spencer went on that podcast or that YouTube show. It was like last year and just said a bunch of real fucking weird shit, man.
Yeah.
Just like, really upset that the Xbox people, I mean, it was strange stuff. And he was talking about like, oh, hardware, games don't sell hardware. And it's like, yeah, they do. Like, yes, they do. Dude, people buy PlayStation to play their first party games. People buy Nintendo strictly to play their first party games. That's what they buy it for. They buy a Switch to play Zelda, Mario, the things that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, people buy a PlayStation for, God of War, Spider-Man, whatever, Last of Us. But they also have you could get the best versions of maybe not all, but most third-party games too. They do, like, software sells hardware. I don't know why he would say something so crazy, but like he even admitted then, like, I mean, he basically said they lost the console war then, that they lost it. It's over.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe this is kind of what he was alluding to. Maybe this is like all this stuff has been in the works since then, before then, and he knew and was just kind of maybe saying too much.
I think when they looked at their first estimation, as far as Xbox console sales, and they saw how far behind they were, and when the numbers came through that they are far behind, and they're man,
it's got to sting a little bit. I mean, it's got to.
They're all. They have to see it now. Microsoft can and has made plenty of mistakes, so they could still make another mistake here, but it's hard to make the same mistake again here with this. It's not that they need to cancel the Xbox, but I think next gen you could still put out an Xbox, put out a juicy Xbox that got some power, but forget the Series S. The Series S should have been a handheld anyway. The thing, it's so small. Most of that size is probably just a big old fat power supply. Like,
I know
you could probably stuff a Series. I've seen videos of people making Series S's mobile, like, easily. And like it's basically making a gaming laptop out of Series S. You put a screen on it, clamshell screen, with a mobile battery pack, and it's possible. The Series S should have been a handheld to begin with.
They sell a screen for it,
right? That's what I'm talking about. That person using that stuff made a portable Series S where you just plop it down and it's like a gaming laptop kind of thing. It should have been a handheld. If they're behind. Xbox Microsoft remains behind, and if they need to not only catch back up, but need to get ahead again. And to get ahead again,
I don't think
to get ahead
behind.
again,
I think
they need a handheld. It would really fix with their problem. It would be a Game Pass machine. It could be $150 or less to $200 or less. And it would be a Game Pass machine. It'll sell hardware, and Game Pass will sell the hardware, and the hardware will sell Game Pass. It'll be a perfect marriage. And then anybody wants the option, if you don't got a PC, and all their games are not. And I don't think next gen. I don't think Xbox games, all of them will be on PlayStation yet. I think it'll take some time. It'll be slowly over time. It'll be slow death for the Xbox, but next gen they still need a big fat Xbox Series to run the games. It'll still sell. It won't be great, but maybe they need to figure out to sell for a profit, not a loss, or whatever they need to do. But it's Microsoft; they don't need to sell for a profit. But anyway, I hope my point is clear. Is that
I understand what you mean? Yeah. But I just don't think. I don't think they're that far behind. I think they just keep fucking shit up, and they keep promising things that don't ever fucking happen.
Yeah, let me just say, Drip, throw your balls on the table. Stop telling me about these games you're going to put out. Stop, just shadow drop a banger ass game. Like, just do it. Just stop. It's so late in your console's life cycle, and the only game that you got to your name is Starfield, and that one had mixed reviews at best. So, like,
well, I mean, they had Halo, they had
Halo
Forza
sucks.
Horizon 5,
Forza was good, but that's not going to sell consoles.
Which was okay.
No,
it's not. Well, that's the thing. How many years has Phil Spencer walked out on a stage or in front of a camera and say, this is going to be the best year for Xbox gamers ever? And still, they bought 50 fucking studios, and how many of them have actually made a game and put it out?
Yeah.
A handful? I don't know, but not a lot.
I want to say real fast that Full Metal says hot take Halo sucks. I didn't mean Halo sucks. I mean the new Halo that came out sucks.
It wasn't that
the
great.
Multiplayer it's a regression of the franchise.
Yeah, it's not that great. That's what I'm saying. You see them buy up all these studios and they don't do anything with them. Like, if this was the plan all along to just make Game Pass a fucking juggernaut at some point, okay, cool. But now you're telling me that all these games are going everywhere else. So what the hell? I mean, that is one thing I will say as a Nintendo drone. Nintendo does right. They value their IP. They do a really good job putting it where it needs to be, making sure that at least the bigger stuff is premium. You know, when we get a new Zelda game, it's fucking nice. When we get a new Mario game,
you can make fun of the Switch all you want, but it's the most. It's look at any Xbox game, Xbox Studio game. Nintendo does more premium games. They do a better premium game on a Tegra chip that belongs in a car's radar system. Better than your Xbox Series X. You can tell me about
fucking whatever. You can talk about graphics and this and that and bullshit. I don't care about that. We're not talking about that.
Shitty
We're talking
game,
about quality of games.
I can see the beard hair in that guy's beard in that shitty game.
The game sucks.
Who gives a fuck?
So my point is, there was something else too. I watched an Arlo video. I think it's his last video, maybe, or maybe it's older. I just caught it the other night. I was really like, okay, I was really like, that's interesting. He was talking about how Nintendo it's a rumor, but how they're supposedly starting to bring in other development studios, talks to other development studios to start handling, hopefully, some of the IPs that they don't really have time for, like your Kid Icarus or whatever, Star Fox, whatever it might be that we don't see a lot of that are kind of on the back burner right now, which is amazing because if Nintendo's bringing these, like, they're not going to let just anybody fuck with their shit. You know what I mean? Like, they will not let somebody take their IP and make a shit game and run it into the ground.
Right.
I mean, I think the only thing that was let's be real. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity ran like a pile of dog shit, but it was still a really good game.
It was. And no business being no business
being that good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was very good. That's the thing. They value what they have. They know how to use it. I think that's where Microsoft's fucking up the most here. They just buy, eat it all up, and now they've got so much, and they just don't know what the fuck to do. So this is the next thing, I guess. Hopefully it works. I hope it does. I mean, I'll be more than happy to be playing all those games on the PlayStation or the Switch. Won't bother me in the slightest. So.
Cali Smoke, I'm going to answer your question in the after show, but that's where we're going, though. So stick around. We're going to answer all lot. There was a absolute massive fuck ton of questions from our chat that we're going to try to get to as many as we can in the after show. We're also going to be talking about our physical games drip.
Wii U, only Wii U.
I'm going to talk about a little bit more on Wii U, but you can talk.
Just not Switch. Just not Switch. We don't care about Switch physical games.
We're going to talk about some of the older classic games that we got in our collection. And yes, Wii U at this point is classic, if you like it or not. But yeah, we're going to talk about that in the after show. But you guys listening, we're going to catch you guys next week.
Later.